Here we are.
Um,
Difficult morning.
Very difficult morning in our countdown to the election. Um,
100 days we started it. 100 days toward aspiration for better times.
I was reading more about the guy who wrote Mesilat Yesharim, and just before he was born
Mm.
was the time of, you know, there were horrible things happening, and the Chmielnitsky massacres of the Jews, and just terrible things.
False
And
messiahs.
yeah, while
Close to
setting
that.
up time for Shabtai Tzvi, but the guy who was his, the person who supported Shabtai Tzvi was Nathan of Gaza.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that there are stories that are so interrelated, so interwoven, that maybe as we unravel them, we'll figure out a way to get out of this madness. It's just crazy madness. I think everyone is thinking about the hostages that were just murdered moments before they were either going to be traded or liberated, or just
What kind of business is this?
it's just maddening, and it only leaves us with Kaddish. It leaves us with
Let me say something about the Kaddish.
about despair.
In
the words of the Kaddish.
In my book that I put together, this vigil book, I have a lot of Kaddishes in here. And I struggled with that when I was putting the book together. The longer I got away from, the further I came away from October 7th, 2023, the more Kaddishes started to come into the book.
Yeah.
And I had to think through, what's the deal with Kaddishes? I had to think through it, and it didn't reflect reality. It reflected aspiration. There's no mention of death in it. We always talk about that. And it really hit me how much of our prayer life and our conscious aspirational life, in our prayers and in our songs, in our teachings, are devoted to peace. It's not devoted to real politics. That's not our business.
Right.
It's devoted to peace. And I started to feel Isaiah in a similar way, the near peace and the far peace. I used to consider that the near peace was we're working our gardens and our abs, and around the world they're working the far peace. But now I see it as the near peace is what we have, our aspiration, that our dream of peace, that we will not relinquish ever. And then the far peace is the dirt of the world, and that we're working peace in both quarters. And what we do with Kaddish is we're working the near peace, so that we're not victims this way. Can I read a piece?
Yeah, sure.
This is a prayer for victims, a Kaddish. Then ask God to release us from victimhood, reconcile ourselves, work on our trauma, rescue us from anger. Placed in the center of history, release us from the center of history. Move us from somethinghood, we call this Yeshus, to nothinghood, we call this Bittul. Then give us back to each other. Return to us our spirits and souls. We've been bruised enough. Then ask God for forgiveness. First, we forgive ourselves the burdens of victimhood. Then give us back the present. We ask God for these things. Now we open our eyes onto the future without poison, hatred, baseless, and small-headed. Now the dark past we recall, eclipsed by vision of the future. Now a gathering up of grief, all unkept dreams of life. Then express and move forward. Say Amen.
So as we prepare to say Kaddish again and again, again and again and again. We have to pray that the Kaddish that doesn't mention death leaves space in this terrible despair for something new to emerge. And we are about to enter into Elul, which prepares us for, God willing, a better year.
Elul, yes. And we will have such good teachings during Elul.
Yeah.
And we'll bring them, we'll lift them up.
Every day.
And so much of our prayer life is about the lift. Give us the lift, the aspiration, the release.
Just when you think things can't get worse, and they do, you can't give up, that there will be an opening for something different, for a change.
You make that beautiful.
So a healing prayer for our bruised and broken hearts, for the families of all of those who have lost their hearts.
Heal our hurts. You are a dependable God. An artful healer. Bring some healing to our souls, some strength to our souls. Amen.
So we'll keep counting. We'll keep coming back every morning and continue the countdown.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Yes. Thanks for coming.